Hey Soul Family, welcome to Eringy. I'm Erin. Welcome to your new moon energy forecast for May 2023. This is a beautiful time to set new intentions, to focus on new goals, to really start fresh. It's like a clean slate. It's a really lovely energy. So grab yourself a pen and paper. You can jot down your own insights and intuition, and let's get started. Alrighty, gorgeous. So let's just have a talk about the energy of the month as a collective. So the overarching energy of this month of May is all about accelerated motion. So accelerated motion is where you are going forwards in leaps and bounds. It's due to the fact that you actually took time out for yourself. You actually removed yourself from chaotic situations and you gifted yourself you time, a time to self-reflect, a time to practice self-care. This is an ongoing energy. It needs to be, because that's just the way that you will remain healthy and balanced and just loving life. Yeah? Okay, so overarching energy is accelerated motion, moving forward quickly. The energy of this new moon is still very much like that. So this new moon is going to help you define what it means to have that sort of motion in place. Okay, so we're going to have a look at where you are currently. So you have really opened yourself up to kind of trusting yourself way more than what you used to be. So you are really starting to open up your third eye, you're opening up your crown chakra, you're really absorbing information coming through. You're probably very aware of that too. This information was always coming through to you, but your heart, or your mind rather, just wasn't interpreting it because it was just shutting that off. Since you've opened up your heart and you've been far more introverted, far more internal, then you are receiving messages that are far more loving, far more supportive, and far more aligned or closely aligned to your mission here on this planet. So congratulations. So you are, this is going to be this ongoing thing as well. When we're talking about self-care, intuition is also about self-care, because it means that you're not dropping into ego, you're not dropping into other people's ego, you're really holding space for yourself, and that's a beautiful, beautiful thing. I know, looking at these cards, that it has been challenging for you. I know that you've experienced a lot of heartache as a result of choosing to listen as opposed to listening externally. Some people who aren't quite aligned with that just yet, or they're just not at that point just yet, won't understand it. That's okay. We need to keep in mind that everybody is at different phases of their life on their soul journey. And it's not a case of you being better than them or vice versa. It's just really understanding that, hey, that's where you're at in life. This is where I'm at in life. I choose to let this go. I choose to move on. I allow my heart to heal, and I'm really going to follow the inner guidance that I'm receiving. Okay, so that's where you're at now, and that's beautiful. What a great start to this new lunar cycle, hey? So with that in mind, now that you're opening yourself up to your intuition, you're following it far more than what you used to. What are you wanting from that? How can you use that and implement that into everyday life? When we're talking about new moon, we do always talk about new goals, new beginnings. And so this particular part of your reading is focusing on what your goal is. Because you are far more spiritually aligned these days, you're far more internal, listening to your intuition, listening to your gut, or however it speaks to you. It's a process of how do you combine that and turn it into something that's material. When we sort of say, okay, mind, body, and spirit. Just that word end almost makes it feel like these three things are separate: mind, body, and spirit. If we took away the end and we just had mind, body, spirit, that to me feels like it is all together, combined, sort of merging as one. There's no definitive division between the three things. They just are, they coexist together. And so what you're searching for is, how do you integrate the spiritual aspect into the mind, into the body? How do you do that? How do you show up with that? This is your challenge. Being that this is a collective reading, I can't go into the specifics of how you can do that, because again, this is your intuition, your inner knowing. This is your passion and purpose that you are here to follow, but also not just follow, but to uncover as well. That in itself is purpose. We're getting very deep here, aren't we? Expect to find some changes that occur on the material side of things now that you are more aligned with your intuition. Okay, so if you are searching for changes in a financial sense, in the way in which you live your life foundationally, as in where you live, your location, what you do with your career, that sort of thing, despite them not being material things, those are things that can contribute to material things, yeah? So your intuition will be the best form or the best practice to tap into as you are deciding what it is you want to do from here. I feel like you have journeyed on this particular path for quite a long time, and you're looking at it and you're like, you know what, this isn't serving me anymore. The difficulty in that is that you have put so much time, you have put so much energy into that path. But that's not always it shouldn't be the thing that tells you that you've got to continue. It's time, I feel like, to let that go, whatever that is. If you've been putting your energy into a relationship and it's just not coming out in a way that is loving and supportive and just makes you feel good, despite the time, despite the energy that you've put into it, is it time to just let that go? Can you let that go? And that goes the same for your career. Yes, you've been in this job for a certain period of time, or you've been working toward this job for a while. If it's not in alignment with your spiritual values, the things that you've uncovered, right? Is it time to move on? The cards are saying yes. Spirit is saying yes, but ultimately the choice is yours. Okay, so things are going to change, and that will be a result of whether or not you are willing to change within yourself as well. Are you willing to accept that there is a spiritual aspect to yourself now? And are you willing to accept that rather than looking outward on the answers of where you should be or what you need to do, are you willing to go more inward and tune into your own heart and your intuition and let that be the guide for you? Okay, because I can see you've put in a lot of hard work these past few years even to try to make this particular thing work, whether it's a family unity or whether it's friendships or whether it's career or it's anything that can be categorized into your life. If you've been working so hard doing those things and yet you're just falling short over and over and over again, despite the amount of time and energy you put into it, then it's time to move on. Okay, so this is the goal. This is the new moon's energy. It's movement forward. And because we're talking about accelerated motion of the overarching energy of this month of May, that makes total sense. So how can you bring this into fruition? How can you start to move on with confidence within yourself? Here's the thing. Your brain is really not going to like it. It really isn't. Ego is going to be like waving its arms in the air and going, oh my God, this is not good. Listen to me. Stop doing what you're doing. Don't take another step forward. That is just disruption. That is just trying to, yes, keep you safe, because it just doesn't know where you're headed. It just doesn't know. Your heart knows, but the head doesn't. And so, yeah, naturally it's going to step in. Naturally it's going to tell you why you shouldn't. It's going to give you all these glorious reasons as to why you shouldn't keep going forwards. But just because it's saying it doesn't mean it's true. The heart is the thing that will always, always tell you the truth. Okay, so really it's about not giving in to the mental conflict, not giving in to the ego. And that was quite funny because I remember saying that for this month, is not giving in to those things. So it's showing up in your new moon reading. Okay, so that's interesting. It's also telling you that there is such thing as balance. How you find that balance is really, again, coming back to oneself, is to find the solitude. Find the stillness. Just because solitude was the overarching theme of last month, right, doesn't mean that that's it and you don't have to do it again. It is always going to be in your life in some way. So when you're feeling like you're being pulled in a million directions, if you feel like your brain is trying to give you all these reasons why you shouldn't move forward, don't take action. This is where I'm stressing this. Do not take action until you have sat with yourself, found the stillness, listened to the heart. Don't do anything until you've done that. That's the energy of this new moon, okay? That's the encouragement that it's going to provide to you. Okay, so despite that this is the energy of the new moon, which is sort of, the 20th of May, I believe, and generally speaking, the energy is high, like specifically heightened on that date, but then you've got 2 days before, 2 days after, where it's still relevant. Just because that's the energy, it doesn't mean that it doesn't expand beyond that, because you're going to continue doing this sort of thing as you get to the next full moon, okay? And beyond, depending on your goals and your passion. Okay, so stillness is important. Listening to the heart is important. Not giving in to the brain, into the ego, just saying, I'm not going to listen to you. I'll listen, but I won't actually take it on board. That's the difference. How can you really, really, really concrete that in? Do you believe that you are a powerful soul? Like, truly. Do you believe that you're resilient? Like, you can honestly admit this, all right? So it's not ego. Can you honestly say that you are resilient? Can you honestly say that you are a glass is half full kind of person? I feel like for me personally, there are days where I'm just there completely for myself, as in I cheer myself on, nothing would get me down. I'm just like, you know what, I've got this, everything's great. I'm going to just have full appreciation for everything in my life and not get distracted by the things that aren't going well. Yeah, there are those days. And then the humanness in me also drops into the opposite to that. Other days, not so much, not feeling it, just not feeling very powerful within myself, or I just focus too heavily on all the things that aren't going well and I miss out on all the great things that actually are. I personally feel like that's a very normal thing. What's the difference between that is that how you bounce back from that. How regularly do you fall into the trap of looking at all the things that you don't have, of holding that space of lack? the energy behind that means that you can't really tune into that power, that true powerhouse of who you are. That's sort of stored here in the solar plexus area, right? Not being connected to that part of yourself, it means that you're just giving your energy away. And that energy is just not nice energy anyway. And then you find that because it's not great energy, you're going to get more of it. And that's crap. You really don't want that, obviously. So your greatest resource is nothing, it's not anything external at the moment. And you are going to find this, actually, we are very internal at the moment, very, very internal, because the greatest strength, despite whatever goes on out here, whatever's going on out here, your greatest strength is in here, inside, within you, your spirit, your soul, your powerhouse. That's you. It's impossible to be solely connected to that if your focus is too much on the lack, what's not going well, okay? So your greatest resource is to just push that aside. There is plenty to be grateful for. There is plenty to be grateful for. Keep in mind that if it's not going your way and you feel like you're trying incredibly hard, still nothing is happening. Could you consider that it's all synchronistic? Could you consider that it's all divine timing? Can you be comfortable with the fact that if it doesn't happen now, it will eventually happen when the timing is right? That timing will continue to just, it'll be perfect if you maintain that connection to who you are, okay? Instead of falling into lack. All right, so yeah, fantastic new moon. So exciting. There's a lot of things that are coming to close, but there are really big things that are coming to fruition, or at least are going to start that momentum as you flow through to the full moon, all right, next month. So yeah, as you have listened to this or watched this video, I would love to know in the comments, because this can really assist everyone else, right? The comment section below is your special sacred space to really teach others, to basically sort of say, hey, this is what I got out of this reading. Okay, this is how this relates to me. And then as other people read those comments, it can be like, yeah, actually, you know what? I too am going through that. And then it just feels like this really beautiful tribe. So that's the aim of, doing these readings. It's about starting a conversation, giving you a heads up of the incoming energies, but then you using your own intuition and taking this and relating it to your own circumstances. And then leave a comment about how it relates to you, so we can all benefit from your own insights and your own intuition. Okay, so go ahead and do that. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do, because as you know, these are the sorts of things that keep showing up. And don't you want to be the first to know? Of course you do. And thumbs up. I really love seeing the thumbs up. It's like it just does like this little, I get like a little flutter in my heart going, oh yes. So please do that. Enjoy this new moon, gorgeous, beautiful, beautiful energy. A lovely time to bring closure to what was and really open yourself up to new beginnings, and really being grateful for all that you have. And yeah, enjoy. I will see you very soon. Sending you so much love. Bye.